Good morning, guys. Welcome to Lost Phoenix Gaming. Remember this? This is the HSV GT-SR. Brilliant car, 50% for the spring season, and an awesome piece of Aussie engineering. But it's also the car that got me my 30-day game ban. Basically, what happened is I had the update from the Windows Store, logged in, and it gave me all my 50% cars for the upcoming season early, including this HSV. Which I thought, okay, that's a bit weird. Stuck a video up on Twitter saying what the basically, and a few days later, I actually got a ban. I got my 30-day ban, and that's due to expire on the 2nd of September. So at the time of recording, I've got just under 2 weeks, so I can live with that. But this is what is happening. I'm not going to get into the things being unlocked because I'll put a link up to my original video about the ban, which goes into a little bit more detail, but this is just an update telling you what's happened or hasn't happened and whatnot since I recorded that video. So if you have a look at the spring season, this was in advance, 5 days in advance, 48% complete. I need 50% to unlock the HSV, which I haven't done. I've not unlocked the HSV, and I didn't actually get past 50% until spring went live, and this was this week, but the car unlocked before the series even started, and I thought, you know what, this is not good, right? I don't mind getting slapped with a ban hammer for something I have done, because it's my fault, I've done it, whatever, but I haven't done it. I haven't unlocked this car. I'm at 48%, not 50%. I've not unlocked it, it's not shown as unlocked, I've just given it and I got a ban. So I basically query it and it comes up, the account was issued a 30-day suspension for utilising an exploit, really, to obtain cars before they're available to anyone. Exploitation disrupts the gaming experience for players and diminishes their hard work and dedication, in addition to diminishing the value of content they may have paid for. Okay, they sent this boilerplate reply back to, firstly, a content creator, and secondly, somebody who actually spent £500 on an Xbox One X so that my children could play it in the highest quality. So don't talk to me about spending money on the game, right? But an exploit, really? I'm sorry. I've not exploited the game, I've done nothing, just logged in, it's a bad update. This is where the problem is. They're just not listening. I linked videos, I put screenshots on, I basically explained it in quite a lot of detail, and just keep marking it as solved. They don't care. Following the marking it as solved, I put a follow-up request asking for it to be escalated to the devs, because the problem I have is that I did not unlock the car. I got the 50% for free, and when they said to me on one of the replies that they investigate all claims, which obviously not, because I don't think investigation means anything past the if then else statement. So it's like, if this car exists in garage, then ban. It's a simple bot thing. And followed it up by saying, in addition, I'm not disputing that I have a car, because I do. It was granted in error, but the penalty rules, to my understanding, are based on the account holder, i.e. myself, carrying out actions to obtain the car early, which in this case I did not do. It's logged in as normal and it was granted, so I've not actually lifted a finger. I've done no exploit or anything like this, and they just mark it as solved. So this is sort of a British reply, but stop marking this as solved. It is not. I've been told by many people in my effort to try and work out how common this situation is that the support here is unprofessional, and other words that are too unkind to repeat, which I have. A lot of people said some really nasty things about the support team and individuals within that team in particular, but that's not my focus. I'm not getting into this stuff, and as I've said, I thought I'd give you guys the benefit of the doubt, because I hate to agree with the opinion of crowds, but unfortunately this is just proven correct. I know what I did and what I didn't do in the game, and know that being banned for a wonky update, dishing out cars like sweets, and giving me something I never unlocked is rubbish. The Series 25 update is bugged, and you guys are doing is just ignoring the problem. 4 weeks, and it's gone, right? I did not use an exploit, and the playlist is still showing it as unobtained. I ask again for this to be escalated, possibly even to the devs, because even comments on your own social media are reporting random cars. I have got video proof of 50% cars automatically unlocking early, as well as random cars, which are not actually random. Everyone seems to have got the same for the 50% and 80% completion for each of the season. But hey, I guess you guys are so jaded by all the requests that you just stop listening. I guess it's easier to ignore problems and rely on algorithms to make decisions, assuming, of course, that I have been replying to a real person and not an automated reply bot. You never can tell these days. It's not like I can run a Turing test. I'm really disappointed by the situation, given that I expected some modicum of professionalism here. Never mind. And that is a bit of a passive-aggressive, sarcastic British reply. And hey, my only regret is I should have said free candy, not sweets, but that's that. But, I don't want to be mean to them on this, because these are people, they're working in jobs, right? I don't know what the sort of situation is with and what the structure is there, whether I'm actually talking to real people or whether it is just reply bots, because Microsoft are quite famous for ditching their staff in favour of AI, and you can't tell. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to get a reply. I'm not going to get unbanned. I was never really expecting to be unbanned. I just want an acknowledgement that it was basically it's bullshit, but obviously that's not going to come, and they're not listening. And that's basically sort of where it ends for me on this, because the problem is nobody's talking to me, right? They don't talk to anybody, and this has been simmering under for a while now within the community. And it's quite interesting that a few days ago this pops up. A lot has been said about bans in the Forza community over the last few days. We want you to know that we hear you. We also want to hear your thoughts on the subject, the link to the site. And this is from a guy called Mike Brown, alias Flawless Cowboy on Twitter. Okay, fair enough. So who is he? Who's this Mike Brown person, right? Why is he posting this stuff out? For those of you sort of in the know, in the community, who watch the streams or follow a lot of the Forza streaming stuff, will know that this guy is probably one of the most authoritative sources on Forza Horizon you can actually get at the moment. He's the creative director of Forza Horizon, working at Playground Games. And if you watch the streams on Twitch, he's on there talking about stuff, and this guy is an authoritative source. So it's good that he's come forward and actually said, look, we hear what's going on. We hear complaints, so we're trying to sort of get it sorted. But what sparked this? It isn't me. It's not me with my 2 and a bit thousand subs. It's definitely not me. They don't care less about people like me. But it turns out that all this stuff in the community, which has been simmering just below the surface for a little while, has finally been all put together and raised as a point of concern by a very big content creator. You may have heard of a little channel called AR12 Gaming. Yeah? These guys, right? And 1.38 million subs, slightly harder to ignore than a 2,000 sub content creator. But basically, this guy, Nick, he's gone and said, hang on a minute, all these people are getting bans for stupid reasons. A lot of it's to do with designs, your liveries, your sort of stuff you put in your cars. But when you look at it, nobody's getting any answers. But then there's people who are going around and they're getting stupid times on PR stunts and on events and things like this, and they're basically hacking the game. And none of these people actually get banned. The scores don't get taken off, they don't get banned, there's no problem, they sort of ignore it. They seem to be just hammering people with car designs and game bugs and stuff like this, not people who are genuinely exploiting the game for their own gain. And this sort of blew up a bit. This is sort of like really kicked off in the community, and there's a lot of discussion both on that video, which I will put a link to, but also on Twitter and also on the Discord servers, which is a very dangerous place on the Forza Discord servers. I think as we stand, just joining them is grounds for a ban. It's actually really bad, and people have been going on asking about player bans, asking what's being done about the high score cheaters and things like this, as well as asking what cars are and are not allowed on multiplayer events, on Forza Motorsport 7 and on different things, and they're just getting banned. It is actually really bad. And a lot of people are giving the devs a bit of shit for this, and they shouldn't be. It's not the devs, it's not the people who make the game. The problem is the community safety team, right, or the enforcement community, whatever they want to call themselves at any given time. They have a problem because you've got Playground Games, you've got the devs, you've got Microsoft who own the studios, their platform, and so on the other. So they set a lot of the rules, and the rules themselves aren't really so much of a problem as to how they are handled, how they're enforced. And you've got this community team. I don't know the internal structure of how all this works. I don't know whether the community team report to Microsoft, whether that be their legal department, their customer services, whether that's their marketing or policy or whatever, or whether they report to Turn 10, or whether they're just an autonomous unit left to their own devices. I don't know, but it seems slightly worrying that you've got the creative director of Playground Games going, you know what, we hear you, there's a problem, so let us know. It's sort of bad that you've got someone like that, and this should have all been sort of handled internally. But the devs have had to come out and do this to try and regain some sort of support within the community, because people are getting really upset about this. And community team are not really about the community. They don't care less. As I understand it, a few months ago, whether it be several months or more, I'm not entirely sure on dates because I'm picking a lot of this stuff up from community chat. They used to have a good team in place, had really good people who knew about the game, cared about the community, and were basically part of the community themselves. They were the gamers, they were the people who knew what they were doing. And that all changed. They had other people in, going from being a community-focused team, going into a more enforcement-focused team. And it seems since then, communication has been a basic no-no. If you're lucky, you get a boilerplate, copy and paste reply. And everything seems to be run like some sort of tin pot dictatorship. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm hoping that there's a lot of conversations going on within the background on this, like out of the public eye, between Playground Games, between Microsoft, between the community team, trying to sort this out. Because is there a problem in this team? Yes, there is. Are they doing their job properly? I don't believe they are, because they're supposed to be engaging with community and being community liaisons as well, and they're just not doing that. And it's alienating people, whether it be a policy issue or a people issue. So either the policies need to be looked at as to how we handle issues, or is it people just making bad decisions? I don't know. I'm not an insider. I don't know. I'm hoping these conversations are being had by the insiders. And there's been a lot going around in the community where individuals have been targeted. There's been a lot of hate going around. There's been death threats on some people. And whilst I'm not impressed how a lot of them are doing their job, in all fairness, and from what I understand, it does seem to be one person being the driving force behind a lot of this, but I'm not going to name him. I'm not going to give him hate, because as much as I'm happy to refer to the team collectively as Vogons or Borg or anything like this, I'm not picking out individuals. I'm not having to go at individual people. And I just hope that none of you guys, as part of the Forza community, are doing the same, because they don't deserve personal hate. If it is a people problem within this team, that's up to the superiors to be retraining or replacing people. It's not up to people like me or you or anyone in the community to be giving them shit, because they're just people, right? I don't know what the problems are in that team, nor do you, nor does anyone else. Basically, the problem is we've got a community team that seems devoid of all community spirit or community mindfulness. And yes, there are people who should be banned. There are people who hack the game scoreboard places or for credit hacks or whatever. I mean, there's people, up on YouTube who are selling modded accounts quite openly and brazenly, and I don't think any of them have been banned. And this stuff's going on, and only people getting slapped are people who've got dodgy updates or are deemed to have something slightly dodgy on their cars, which 9 times out of 10 they don't. The whole issue with the rising sun is an absolute farce. Apparently, you can put the rising sun in your car because it's a sign of Japanese imperialism, but there's actually a rising sun layer you can use within the design editor. There's a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of issues like this, and I'm just hoping that somewhere behind the scenes these guys can just get their heads out of their asses and actually just sort this stuff out, because everybody knows that games live or die based on their community. You have a healthy community, the game thrives. You have a toxic, negative community, the game will die. And this is one of those things which, I personally don't want for Forza. I love the game, it's really good fun. And we're just hoping we get this shit sorted out. Definitely a lot going on within the community at the moment. So thanks for watching, guys. You made it to the end. So until next time, thanks for watching. Take it easy and happy driving.